Good morning, everyone. Thank you for presenting today's board meeting. So I am Tan Sri Mohammed bin Muhammad Ali, Chairman of Rancak Niaga Berhad. Are there any apologies for absent in today's meeting, Ms. Vinci?
Yes, Tan Sri. Datuk Nazir bin Amin absent for today due to emergency.
Is the quorum of directors present?
Yes, Tan Sri. The quorum of director for today is present.
Since the quorum is present, I will introduce the company directors of our company that present today. Datuk Irfan bin Badri, Datuk Imelda binti Mazlan, Datuk Nathan Nair, Encik Idris bin Yusof. So Ms. Vinci is in charge to record the minutes.
All right, Tan Sri. By the way, I have circulated notice of board meeting to all director. Is there any objection?
No.
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 As there are no objections, so I will proceed with the meeting, which will follow the agenda written in notice of board meeting. Chairman will announce at the end of the discussion of any resolution and go into voting. The resolution that have been set out in notice of the board meeting will be voted by show of hand. I would like to inform you that every director has only one vote. Any resolution is passed if it is agreed by all directors that present without dissent, or if the majority of the vote cast on it are in favor of it.
So, all right, let us move to our first agenda, which is approving the audited financial statements for 31st December 2021, and also the reports of the directors and auditors. We already received audited financial statements from our external auditor. So, Ms. Vinci, have you emailed a copy of audited financial statements and related reports to all of the directors?
Yes, I already emailed them. Did you receive an email of the documents from me?
Yes.
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 Okay, good. I'm sure all of you have taken a look at it prior to this meeting. Does anyone have any comments on these financial statements and reports before we approve it?
Okay, based on the report from our external auditor, Crow Malaysia PLT, they have given a true and fair view of financial statement and other reports as it comply with the requirements on MFRS and also the requirement listed in the Company Act 2016.
Okay, if like that, I think we can proceed to the approval of audited financial statements and related reports. Before that, does anyone have any questions or comment on these financial statements and reports?
No.
No question.
No question.
If not, we will proceed for the approval, and will anyone volunteer to approve this document?
Yes, I'm willing to volunteer for approving the financial statement and other related document. Is everyone okay with that?
Yes, agree.
Yes, agree.
Okay.
So since all of you agree, I want to declare that Datin Imelda will approve the audit financial statements and other documents. Thus, these audited financial statements and other documents will be presented in the upcoming AGM. Ms. Vinci, please email all the related documents to Datin Imelda for her to approve.
Yes, I already did, Tan Sri.
Okay, good. So can we continue to the second agenda?
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
So our second agenda is based on the re-election of the directors in Rancak Niaga Berhad. Before that, we will proceed with the retirement of the directors first. Ms. Vinci, can you explain more about this?
Sure, Tan Sri. According to Section 205 of 3 of B of Company Act 2016, directors who hold office for the longest time since the last election should be retired by rotation from the board. We will need to select one of 3 members from our board to retire, and then we will select 2 from the directors to retire from the board during AGM. From this Company Act, Tan Sri Mohammed and Datin Imelda should retire first because they hold office for the longest time since the last election in 2019. What do Tan Sri Mohammed and Datin Imelda think about this?
Yes, I agree with you, Ms. Vinci. Since I have the longest service time in the board and I'm ready to retire during this AGM.
Yes, I understand and will volunteer to retire during the AGM. Then can we proceed to the re-election of directors? Does anyone have any questions about this?
No
Yes, you
question.
can continue to proceed.
No question.
No question.
Okay, so based on Company Act 2016, there has been mentioned by Ms. Vinci, did you agree to re-elect me, Tan Sri Mohammed and Datin Imelda as the directors of this company?
Yes, I agree as directors that have been retired can be re-elected again if they agree with it and an ordinary resolution has been passed by members.
All right then, those who agree with this re-election, please raise your hands. Okay, so I want to conclude that Tan Sri Mohammed and Datin Imelda will be re-elected as the directors for our 10th of annual general meeting and declare that this agenda is resolved. So I will proceed to the third agenda, which we appoint the director to fill in the casual vacancy. Ms. Vinci, could you help me to explain more about the reappointment of director?
Yes, sure. According to Section 202 of 3 of Company Act 2016, there is another situation that considers a director to retire from the board, which is if there is a director has been appointed during the year to fill in casual vacancy, then the director should only hold office until the next AGM and retire from the board during AGM. With regard to this, Encik Idris should retire during this AGM. What does Encik Idris think about this?
Yes, I understand what Miss Vinci has mentioned, and I also shall retire during this AGM.
So, in that case, Encik Idris will be reappointed again as director for next period as Mr. Idris has just become an director on 15 January 2022. What do others think about this? Did all of you agree with this appointment?
Yes, agree.
Agree.
Since all of the directors agree with the reappointment of Encik Idris as director, I declare this agenda has been resolved. Now we move on to our next agenda regarding directors' fees and benefits. Dato' Irfan, what is your suggestion about directors' fees and benefits for this financial year?
Okay, in my opinions, I think we should maintain directors' fees and benefit like previous years. It's due to the fees and benefits that were provided to the directors from previous years are quite high, and I don't think it is necessary to increase more in this year.
What is your view about Dato' Irfan's suggestion, Datin Imelda?
I think the same way as Dr. Irfan, we need to look at another cost in our company that needs to be covered and maintaining the same rate. Is it a good idea as our company has been affected by COVID-19 too? So it is a good idea to reduce our company costs.
May I know the amount for the remuneration?
So for director's fee, it is up to 2,800,000. For director's benefit from previous year is 1 million.
So if you agree to maintain the remuneration, you may raise your hand. So as most of you agreed to remain with the same amount for the remuneration, so I announce the agenda is resolved. So let's move to our next agenda, which is the appointment of an auditor for our company. So is there any suggestion whether we should appoint a new auditor or reappoint the same auditor?
I would like to propose our company to reappoint the same auditors as we have been working with the same auditors for the 3 years and we can cooperate well with the same auditor. So why not if we just reappoint the same director? Okay.
If that is the case, does everyone agree with this proposal from Dato' Irfan? If yes, you may raise your hand. Okay. So Mazel Crow Malaysia Plate will be reappointed as our auditor for the upcoming period.
What about the remuneration of the auditor? Is it okay if we remain the same amount as before, which is 55,000?
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
I agree.
So with that, we will appoint the same auditor, which is Messrs. Crow Malaysia PLT, and be fixed with the same amount of remuneration as before, which is 55,000 ringgit. So let's move to our sixth agenda regarding authority to issue shares. So Ms. Vinci, could you explain this agenda?
Sure, Tan Sri. So under Section 75 and Section 76 of Company Act 2016, directors are able to issue an allot share if they have obtained approval by way of resolution by the company. According to Section 75 of 1, approval may be confined to a particular exercise of that power or may apply to the exercise of that power generally, and any such approval may be unconditional or subject to conditions, and it shall be lodged with the registrar within 14 days from the date of the approval. Thus, the authority shall begin immediately upon the adoption of this resolution and shall remain in effect until the end of the next annual general meeting of the company. Does everyone agree with that decision?
I
Agree?
agree with that.
Yes, I'm agree.
So I declare that this agenda has been resolved. So following the next agenda, as agreed from the last board meeting, which is changing the name of the company from Rancak Niaga Berhad to Rancak Niaga Holding Berhad. Did you finish the draft of the circular change of name and bring it to the meeting, Ms. Vinci?
Yes, I have finished it and shared the circular to shareholders in relation to the proposed change of name of the company.
Thank you, Ms. Vinci. As we can see in the circular that the proposed change of name is due to better reflect on Rancak Niaga's core business becoming an investment company to manage the investment of its subsidiaries. Are there any problem regarding the proposed change of name?
No.
For me, no.
No.
So since every director has no problem with the proposed change of name, hopefully the director will vote in favor of the special resolution in respect of the proposed change of name to be tabled at the AGM of the company. I declare this agenda as resolved. So finishing off with agenda 7. I will now proceed with agenda 8, which is regarding investment in Rancak Travels and Berhad.
Okay, since our last discussion, Tan Sri, you have initiated that you would like to invest more shares in Rancak Travel Berhad.
Yeah, I think that Rancak Travel Sedan Berhad has a bright opportunity as the government has committed to strengthening the tourism industry since the reopening of the border as we are now in the endemic phase of COVID-19. So that is why I decided to invest more share in Rancak Travel Sedan Berhad.
I think it is a great idea to invest more shares in order to develop the company. Without doubt, the travel industry will bloom, hence increasing our market shares.
After listening, I am now fully confident to invest more shares in Rancak Travels and Berhad. I declare this agenda is resolved. Okay, then for agenda number 8. So now we move on to agenda 9, which is regarding the loan from Bank Islamic Berhad. Datin Imelda, I heard that you have prepared the proposal about the loan. Can you explain more about that here?
Yes, sure. We intend to seek a 70 million ringgit loan from Bank Islamic Berhad. So this loan will be used to enhance our new company subsidiary, that is Rancak Travels Sdn Berhad. I think it is a good idea to invest in the tourism industry because currently our country is in an endemic phase. So there are no travel restriction anymore like before this. There is no need to scan my Sejahtera and it is optional to wear masks in public areas. So this will increase the number of people to go to travel.
I see. So anything from other directors?
I admit that I also have the same thinking as Datin Imelda. The borders have reopened and this will increase the number of foreign tourists to travel to Malaysia.
Okay, regarding the amounts, there is 70 million. Is it the amount too much to invest in the tourism business?
For me, the amount is reasonable because with that much loan to invest in our tourism business, we can offer higher quality and standard service to our customers. This will create a good name for our company and high chances it can make our company go viral because of the services we gave. It will help to advertise our company.
Okay. So does any director have any objection or question that they want to ask or point out?
No question from me.
No question.
No question.
All right, with that. So we can continue to seek the loan with the amount of 70 million from Bank Islamic Berhad. Next, we move on about creation of charge on land at Mukim Penggalan Kundo. May I know your thought about this idea, Dato' Irfan?
Okay, my talk about this idea is there is a good move to charge against this land to secure a loan from Bank Islamic Berhad. Securing this loan is very essential to expand our business because of the reopening the border that was announced by the government when Malaysia moved to the endemic phases. This loan can be used to upgrade our facilities and assets to give the best to our customers. What about others regarding my idea?
Is it okay if we charge against that land, as I think that land might give a high contribution for our company later, and why not we charge against other land?
I think I agree with Dato' Irfan as land at Mukim Pengkalan Kundur does not have any operation or use for now. And I think that we could use that land as a guarantee to secure our loan. We need to take into account that we just went through the pandemic era. And many institutions require guarantees in giving loans to any companies for their backup.
Okay, now we move to a voting season about this agenda. If you agree with Dato' Irfan's idea, please raise your hand. You can do so with Encik Idris' idea.
I agree with my
I
idea.
agree with Dato' Irfan.
I agree with that, Irfan.
Agree with
I
Dr.
agree with
Irfan too.
Dr. Irfan.
Since all of you agree, I declare this agenda is resolved and land at Mukim Pengkalan Kundo will be a guarantee to secure loan. Next, we move to the next agenda, which is about the resolution to hold an AGM. As our audited financial statement is still not ready earlier, I would like to extend our next AGM to a new date. Do you have any idea for the date for our next AGM?
As we already get approval from the Security Commission to extend our AGM, as the AGM will be conducted not within 6 months after financial year end. So is it okay if we conduct our AGM on 15th July 2022?
Okay with that
I
date.
agree.
So as everyone agree with our new date, which is on 15 July 2022. So Ms. Vinci, you need to prepare all the documents needed, including the declaration of a dividend, the consideration of the company's accounts and reports, and the election of directors in place of those retiring. Ms. Vinci, please take note of the date for our next AGM and issue the notice to all the shareholders.
Sure, I will issue the notice and email to the members when the meeting is over. Now, I will announce the new date for the 10th AGM. It will be held on 15 July 2022 at Lot 10 Complex Dagangan Changlun, 06010 Changlun, Kedah Darul Aman. On behalf of the chairman, I hope that everyone can clear all the tables during that day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vinci, for the reminder. So for our last agenda for today, I would like to see the notice of AGM. Could Ms. Vinci review for all of us? I would like to check if there is anything that needs to be altered.
Yes, sure, Tan Sri. I would like to ask everyone to review this notice of AGM together. We have about 5 of ordinary business and 2 special business. The ordinary business are: number 1, to receive the audited financial statement for the financial year ended 31st December 2021 and the reports of the director and auditors thereon. Number 2, to reappoint Mr. Crow Malaysia Plate as auditor of the company for the financial year ended 31st December 2021 and to authorize the director to determine their remuneration. Number 3, to approve the payment of directors' fees and benefits, which are 2.8 million ringgit and 1 million ringgit, to be maintained at the same amount as the previous financial year for the financial year end. Number 4, to re-elect the following directors who are to retire pursuant to Section 205 of 3 of B of Company Act 2016 and being eligible have offered themselves for re-election. Number 5, to reappoint the following directors who are to retire pursuant to Section 202 of 3 of Company Act 2016 and being eligible have offered themselves for re-election. For the special business, we have number 1, propose to change the name of the company from Rancak Niaga Berhad to Rancak Niaga Holding Berhad. Number 2, propose to issue shares pursuant under Section 75 and 76 of the Company Act 2016.
I think there is nothing that needs to be adjusted. All right, so we were able to finish all of our agendas and to review overall of our meeting. Ms. Vinci, could you conclude what we have discussed for today?
Sure, Tan Sri. So we have 5 agendas for today's board meeting. I will briefly conclude each of the agenda. For the first agenda, Datin Imelda will approve the audit financial statement and other documents, and later it will be presented in the upcoming annual general meeting. I already emailed all related documents to Datin Imelda for approval. For the second agenda, Tan Sri Mohammed and Datin Imelda will be retired and will be re-elected as director for our 10th annual general meeting. For the third agenda, Encik Idris will be reappointed as director as he has been appointed during the year due to fill in the casual vacancy. For the fourth agenda, fees and benefits for director remain the same, which is 2,800,000 ringgit for the fees and 1 million ringgit for directors' benefits as previous year. For the fifth agenda, the auditor remuneration is the same as before, which is 55,000 ringgit. For the sixth agenda, director will be able to issue shares if they get approval by resolution of our company. For the seventh agenda, we will change our company name from Rancak Niaga Berhad to Rancak Niaga Holding Berhad. For the eighth agenda, which refers to investment in Rancak Travel Syndrome Berhad, Tan Sri Mohammed will invest more shares for Rancak Travel Syndrome Berhad as it may help the company to evolve in near future. For the ninth agenda, our company will seek for loan of 70 million ringgit from Bank Islamic Berhad to enhance our subsidiary, which is Rancak Travel Syndrome Berhad. For the 10th agenda, the company's land, which is located at Mukim Pengkalan Kundur, will be a collateral for our loan. For the 11th agenda, we have decided to hold our AGM on 15 July 2022, and I will issue a notice of AGM and will email it when it is ready. Hopefully, everyone can attend during that date, which will be held hybridly. The venue is located at Lot 10, Complex Dagangan Changlun 06010, Changlun, Kedah, Darul Aman. And the last agenda is regarding the notice of AGM, as the business are okay, so I will proceed with the same business and circulate it when it is ready.
Thank you, Ms. Vinci, for the summary of our meeting. Is there any question from all of you?
Okay, same
Question from me.
I propose the meeting to be adjourned.
I second the proposal.
With that, I declare this meeting to be adjourned and thank you for attending our meeting for today.
All right, thank you.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.